Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel and this is the Christopher Ward C1 Moonglow. It's a really cool watch and super well built. And yeah, there's a lot going on, so how about we start with some specifications. This Christopher Ward is using what they refer to as the light catcher case. And this one is 40.5 millimeters in diameter and a lug-to-lug of 47.9 millimeters. We have a height of 12.9 millimeters, including that sapphire crystal. I don't know about the coating on it, but we also have a sapphire dial. And we'll talk about more of that when I get back to the dial. We have a water resistance of 30 meters or 3 ATM. Powering this watch is a modified Sellita SW200-1 with a J04 module built onto it, which delivers 38 hours of power reserve. And the lume on this watch is X1WL C1 Super Luminova. So let's get into that lume shot. And as you would expect, the lume is awesome. Look at the lume on those moons, the detailing on the craters, the shadows on the moon. And look at that ring, that date ring. So you can tell the date even in the dark. That's a really nice detail. So we have a sapphire dial. We have the light catcher case. And the case is, as all other Christopher Wards I've encountered, finished beautifully. Great articulation on that bracelet, where we have a combination of brushing and polishing. And this seems to be quite a popular style of bracelet these days. Going down to the deployment clasp, which is signed. And an open case back, and that's a pretty cool custom rotor, isn't it? Beautifully done. But the star of the show is of course the moon, or moons. But let's check out the date complication. So if we pull the crown out into the first position, you see that red dot in the circle jumping around. That's the date, moving around in a circle. And if we move the crown the other way, the moon, we work with the moon phase of the watch. And the dual moons wiggle around. And according to the website, if you keep the watch loaded, it's gonna show the correct cycle for 128 years. So yeah, that's as long as you keep this watch running, you won't have to adjust the moon phase in your lifetime. The different complications gives varying layers on that dial and an incredible depth. And they decided to put the logo down below at the 6 o'clock and to move it out of the way, which is, I think, is a really good idea. Not taking anything away from those moons, which are the main feature of this watch. And take a look at the detailing on those moons. I mean, just look at it. There's some high detailing on a tiny little moon. Great sweep of that Sellita movement. And all in all, it's a really well put together watch. It feels sturdy. Nothing is moving around. Fairly high price. This is the most expensive watch I've ever featured on this channel, but I think the complications and the movement and everything warrants that price tag. And it's also quite a comfortable wear. The articulation on that bracelet is really good. The finishing is top. The winding is super smooth. It's really, you can really feel the difference between a more expensive watch and a cheaper one when you wind a watch. And just look at that chamfer edge. That's crisp. Transferring from brushing to polishing, back to brushing again. It's done. Finished beautifully. Quick release on that bracelet, by the way. So you can pair it up with whatever strap you want. And this, I think, will look great on pretty much anything you put it on. So what moans might I have with this Moonglow watch? Well, there's only two, to be honest. I understand the dressy watch and you might want the deployment clasp for a dressy watch, for a dressier look. But it's quite a big boy and quite hefty. And a clasp, well, a clasps are always better with a micro adjust. You do have half links here. but it will also be a better counterbalance to the watch head itself. When you have a watch like, let's take this MMI watch, and it's a bit of a chunkier, heftier watch, the clasp is like a perfect counterbalance on the wrist. This tends to be slightly top heavy on my smaller wrist anyway. And if you don't get the perfect fit, which is hard to do on that deployment clasp when you don't have the micro adjust. And also you only have 30 meters of water resistance, or 3 ATM. And so I would dare think that this is quite an expensive watch to service or to repair. And if you had a bit, so you really need to be careful with what weather you wear this watch in. Now they could have been able to do a screwing crown, or could have been able to increase, like the MMI watch that you show also have a push-pull crown, but they have 100 meters of water resist with a push-pull crown. And if you can increase the water resistance on this watch, yeah, I think that's a really good idea. And their divers have some beautiful threading, so they should have been able to do something with the water resistance. Now, anyhow, there's only 2 modes I might have, so let's put it on my slightly smaller wrist, about 16.5, 17 centimeter wrist. So for being a slightly bigger watch, for me anyways, 40 millimeter, 40.5 is about as large as I go. I think it wears pretty well. It's a nice curvature of that case. It doesn't feel too heavy. Like I said, slightly top heavy. Lies fairly flat. The light catcher case is a really nice case, really comfortable. And yeah, this works for me. And I think it has enough presence for and plenty of spare links for a way bigger wrist. Smaller wrist, well, though you might have issues with this watch, but Christopher Ward have a 38 millimeter Moonphase watch as well. So that might have been be a better choice if you have a smaller wrist. And that's it for this time, guys. Thank you, Christopher Ward, for lending me this watch. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe. It will be a big difference for the algorithm and this channel. And until next time, stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.